Hello everyone, Kyle Bunger here, and welcome to another edition of Rate Their Chances. This is where we determine how likely or unlikely a character is to be in Fraymakers. There are many factors I take into consideration when determining this, but the most influential one is popularity, followed by communication, representation, and potential. Here is the scoring system for this series, with 5 meaning that I think the character will be in the base roster, while 1 means I think they have no chance of being represented at all. Which character are we rating today? It is Alex Eggleston from Y2K, a postmodern RPG. This was requested by Starturbo, so don't hurt me, it's all his fault. I think when he first requested this, he was joking, but I did ask him if he would legitimately like to see my thoughts, and he said sure. So here we are. I think Alex is going to be an interesting character to talk about, and I'm going to do my best to keep this episode structured. Let's talk about his potential first, as for me, this was the hardest thing to find information on. For most RPG characters, or any character in general, I usually like to go on a Wikipedia page or look up a video of all the moves and weapons that they can use. What I found with Alex was surprising, but pretty funny, all things considered. When I looked up YouTube videos, all I could find are editorials talking about how bad Y2K is, or I found just full-on posts. When looking for a wiki, I found wiki entries entirely dedicated to talking about how bad of a character Alex is. And it's safe to say that I have never seen something like this while looking into any character for the series before. Anyway, there was a wiki that discussed Alex's power and abilities, so let's go over some of those things. So, Alex can fly. He has weapon mastery specifically with records and musical instruments. He can destroy souls, universes, and realities? What? Why is this dude so strong? Okay, let's calm down here. I think it's actually really interesting that Alex uses records and musical instruments to attack and cause status effects. It's pretty unique. Along with this, I saw that Y2K's combat system is based around timing specific minigames, which would also be interesting to see implemented into his normals or specials if he was a character. I usually say that RPG characters are pretty easy to adapt into platform fighting games, and while I think Alex would not be the easiest to implement due to his unorthodox choice of weapons, I say that there's still plenty of material to work with. Okay, let's get into popularity next, since I already got into it a little bit. Y2K seems to be the game that everybody loves to hate. It is not critically acclaimed at all. At best, it has mixed reception. Alex himself is popular, but only really because of memes from what I've seen, because people who have actually played Y2K don't like his character. Alex and Y2K are actually discussed quite a bit in the Cloud Gaming Discord server, but I can tell you for sure that it's mostly memes and negativity still. How about representation? Y2K does have a cast of characters that fight alongside Alex, but from what I can tell, none of them seem to be liked much more or are nearly as popular as Alex. I think that if someone from Y2K were to be in this game, it should be Alex, just because he is the most recognizable character and he is the protagonist of the game. Finally, we can get into communication, which I think is the most interesting thing of all to talk about. I'm going to actually talk first about the fact that Alex is going to be a playable character in another platform fighting game, Indie Rumble. Yes, there is a very real possibility of him being in Fraymakers because of this. I think this was a case, however, where the Indie Rumble devs managed to reach out to Axe Studios in order to make it happen. I feel like Team Fray would have to do the same thing. Many people in the Fraymakers community have expressed that they don't want Alex in the game, so I do not see Team Fray going out of their way to even try and get in contact with Axe Studios. So with that being said, I'm going to give Alex a 1.5 rating. This means that Alex has a sliver of a chance to be in this game. The only things I really think he has going for him is the fact that he is crossover with another platform fighter, and that his potential for an assist or being a fighter are actually pretty decent. And actually, Alex being in Indie Rumble could also be seen as something that could hurt his chances to be in Fraymakers. It's possible that if Team Fray did approach Axe Studios at this point for a crossover, they might say, well, we already are doing a thing with Indie Rumble. So yeah, there's not much to work with if that is the case. Anyway, who should I rate next? Let me know in the comments below. I do take requests, and I'll see you on the next Rate Their Chances. Bye.